This is AZ Audibles. Haley Stasiak, Eric Sorensen, and Jordan Ham here to recap your 4A, 5A, and 6A state title games. We had repeat champions this year. Saguaro topped South Point Catholic 42-16. We'll start out there. Eric, you were in Tucson for this one.
Two players that really stood out to me for Saguaro. First off, Hayden Hatton, 4 catches for 112 yards. He's a wide receiver, also plays a little bit of defensive end. And Saguaro went back to one of their schemes that they used against Desert Edge in the semifinals, using Hatton as sort of a wildcat quarterback. He ran for a touchdown. He also threw for a touchdown. He was a difference maker, as well as Will Schaefer. Jordan, someone you and I talk about from time to time, sort of an unsung hero. Tight end, H-back, and also plays linebacker. He caught 2 touchdowns. A long touchdown reception from Tyler Beverett in the third quarter I thought really opened up the game. He also was on the receiving end of Hatton's touchdown pass. And it was just one of those games I thought where once Saguaro started to control the line of scrimmage and once they kind of got separation on South Point and made South Point one-dimensional, sort of took Bijan Robinson out of the game, it was over.
And Schaefer's a guy that earlier in the year had to step in for an injured Clay Randall and was pretty key. And what Coach said was he just kind of got thrown in there and kind of figured it out. So he was a two-way player kind of by necessity, but really starting to thrive in multiple roles this year. That's
6 straight for Saguaro. Congratulations to the SaberCats on their 4A state title. Let's move into 5A now. Centennial just dominated Notre Dame Prep, a 60-7 win for the Coyotes. Standout for me for this one, I was able to catch the replay. Wasn't able to make it out to the game, but caught the replay on Fox Sports Arizona the other night. A standout player in this one, A.J. Jackson. He had 3 touchdowns just in the first half, a punt return, a pick 6, and a touchdown reception. And then obviously this Coyote defense, we've talked about them all season long, just dominated game in and game out. Couple of standouts there. Jaden Young, he had just, it seemed like he was tackling all over the field. And Eric Haney, who had 3 interceptions and a pick 6. Something about this Centennial defense was able to stop Jake Smith. Eric, you were out at this one. What was it that they were able to do?
They just didn't miss tackles, Haley. I mean, all season they've been so sound. And last weekend, no different. They made Notre Dame Prep one-dimensional. And last week I talked about how Jake Farrell needs to get rid of the ball quickly to sort of neutralize that Centennial pass rush. The Coyotes got after him. They picked him off 5 times. And one of the best things that they did for Centennial was once Jake Smith got the ball, they sort of had a way of just surrounding him. So even when it looked like he had space, Jake Smith likes to cut back and kind of just make plays out of nothing. He was not able to do that just because of the way they played defense at Centennial.
Second straight state title for the Coyotes. They're moving into 6A now. Chandler got the win against Perry, a 65-28 win for them.
Yeah, and just it was the DeCarlos Brooks show. From the get-go, he was getting whatever he wanted on the run. Ended up with over 300 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns. Just a dominating performance by him. And what I've said leading into this game and really this season, I think that Chandler's fine if Jacob Conover's throwing the ball about 15 times a game, because that means the run game is going. He threw it 18 times, completed 13, and had a touchdown, as well as a rushing touchdown. So very efficient performance by him again. And then defensively, Javin Aquin. He's a guy that doesn't get talked about a ton, but he's a linebacker, one of their leading tacklers. He had 7 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a big interception to kind of stall out a Perry drive as they were starting to get some momentum. So another really dominating performance by Chandler.
I really expected this game to be a lot closer than it was, and you have to tip your cap to Sean Aguano and that Wolves coaching staff. It seems like every big game, Chandler comes ready to play, and I think that wake-up call against Highland in the semifinals was maybe the best thing that happened to Chandler.
And that was one thing that Coach Aguano talked about after the game. It was their best 2 weeks of practice after that. They were focused. They knew that they could be beat if they didn't show up, and they certainly showed up.
That's back-to-back state titles for the Wolves. Guys, this was a year of dynasties. We had repeat champions in 2A, 4A, 5A, and 6A. That's 4 divisions of repeat state champions. So congratulations to all of those teams. Thanks so much for joining us on AZ Audibles this year. We look forward to bringing you all the high school football coverage in 2019.